To Daytona.
Yeah.
All right, you should.
Get that out of your way.
We'll get this out of the way. So I dislocated my shoulder. There was a big black bear in my backyard this week. You should see the bear. Or more likely, so what did you do for your wife that she... I'm not taking the garbage out again. Anyway, welcome to another season of the Peter United Sports Car Championship. This is, yeah, it's cool to be to have one of the C7Rs on the pole. How about that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the last time we had a pole here was 2000.
Wow.
And when I had both arms working, we managed to get it on the pole. Well, this is Daytona is the Rolex 24 is always one of my favorites, and again, this is Daytona is really a shrine. This is a really special place. I'll never forget when we came here, the Corvette team for the first time in '99, coming through the tunnel to the speedway, and the history that this place has, and even for sports car racing. This is the 53rd running. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a lot of history for sports car racing. But it's an important race, one of the biggest sports car races in the world, and it just happens to be here in Daytona, the world center of speed, as they call it. You know, as a driver, that there's, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, the best part about a 24-hour race is when it's over. They are physically and mentally tough. You know, there's lots of adrenaline early, like, and it's very difficult to change your routine in terms of today, for instance. You get up at the normal time. You're going to be up at the racetrack and be here sort of 9 o'clock-ish and go through normal routine. Well, the race starts at 2 o'clock and doesn't end until 2 o'clock tomorrow. And at some point, you got to learn how to relax and get some rest. The adrenaline tends to wear off when it's dark. And it's usually, you'll find, those of you who hang out and try to do the whole thing, you'll see some cautions between midnight and 2 o'clock. That's when boys behind the wheel tend to nod off a little bit. I shouldn't say nod off, but there's a period of time where mistakes happen, and it's fairly routine when at what times that happens, and it's usually 1, 2 in the morning, and then it's getting through the darkness, and then it's amazing when the sun comes up, and hope it does tomorrow. How energizing that is, even though you've been up most of the night. But typically you want to, even though it's being, it's noisy, but yeah, when you go back to the motorhome, if you can get in between stints, if you can get 45 minutes of relaxation, even nod off a little bit, it's amazing what that does for energy. And again, getting the right foods in between stints and maintaining the hydration, which is a lot less of an issue now than it was when I was racing. It was so hot in them cars. Yeah, now they have air conditioning. Come on. But no, it's the difference now, and it really started, I think, in our second 24 hours of Daytona here, where the pace changed dramatically, and it's been that way ever since, where now you're looking at a 24-hour sprint. There was a time in endurance racing where you would run the car 70 or 80%. And by that I mean, you know, you're braking early, trying not to use second gear a lot, because it was the weakest gear in the box. So you were again, and that's a little bit easier physically and mentally when you're in a bit more of a conservative mode. But that's changed, you know, where cars are that much better, the skill is that much better, and you've got to be going hard all the time. And that for us changed in 2001, where it was, we actually won it overall here, and it was go hard. And I would not have believed that we would have got to the end. We were bouncing over curves, but that was the pace. You just had to go hard, 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 and you get inside the last 3 hours, see where you're at, and you either go harder, or then you can start to conserve, and it's an awesome feeling to be able to just cross the finish line. Because in '99 it was our first race here. It was looking like we weren't going to make it to the end. We were stopping for oil about every 20 minutes. And unfortunately it was raining, because we left a lot of mobile water around the racetrack as we were trying to make it to the end. But now this is, as I said, a really special event, and again, because of the history, there's just so much passion. If you're a driver, this is a place you want to come to, and if you can't get excited, you're in the wrong business. So, any questions? Yeah. Was I here last year? Yes. Yeah, the question is Nemo Gidley, who had that horrific accident here last year. Yeah, he's not 100% yet. I read not too long ago he had yet another surgery, but everything's functioning, and yeah, just amazing that he even survived that. That was ugly looking incident. And again, that's some of the issues that you have when you're driving in any kind of long races. Is there are periods of time when the sun is directly in your eyes, and you got to find ways to deal with it. And that was a situation where the sun was low, and there was a car going slow, driver's left. He was following another car and just didn't see it. Pulled out, and there was basically a car near stop. It's just and it can happen. But yeah, there's again, this is an endurance test of man and machine, and it's probably in that order for a 24-hour race. Yes.
Do you have a spotter like they do for NASCAR?
Question is, do we have spotters? We have used spotters, I'm going to guess and say, since 01 or 02. Yeah. One of the great things about our Corvette team is the ability to be able to tap into Chevy production folks and get access to technology. It started initially with great radio communications, and again, that's easier said than done. Being able to get radio communication that works all the way around the racetrack. We've had that, and then the monitors. If you've been able to get down to the Corvette pit, you see all the TV monitors, and they're all different corners. So essentially, the crew chief, Dan Binks on the 3, Brian Hoy on the 4, they'll watch the monitors, and they'll work as spotters. Plus, we have that the new TV system in the car. Essentially, it's that traffic sensor. It's a small screen, and it has. Actually, I think Dan Binks we had a rear-facing camera sort of in the mid-2000s at Le Mans for the first time, and this is just an extension of that, where there are sensors on the back, and they do see traffic coming. And I don't know if you've seen the feature on it there was a feature done, and I think it's in the Professional Engineering Sports as a racing engineering magazine. Anyway, the guys won an award for this system. Essentially, it senses traffic coming up, and you'll see on this dash, it's basically like a small TV monitor, and it has arrows within a scale of approach, and you can see the distance on cars approaching from behind, and then these little arrows flash, it'll tell you which side the car's, a faster car is going to come by, what side they're coming on. It's pretty unique, and that's a huge help because rear visibility is not the greatest, and when you're dealing with prototypes that are lower, it can be effective. So that's a great help. And accident avoidance system, I think that's what they call it. That's the long version. Yes. Am I going to run NASCAR? Yeah, we get this wing fixed. Yeah, I didn't get to do any of the NASCAR road races last year. Just too many conflicts. It's terrible having a real job now. Performance driving school. But yeah, hopefully this year we'll do a few. Yeah, we're still keen on doing that. It's good fun. I did last year. I just did one Trans Am race and made an appearance, and that was great fun. And, Jim Durhog Corvette. So that was, but I hope so. At least the three Xfinity Series road races will be fun again. We'll see. But thanks for asking. They still pay pretty well. Even old guys. Any other questions? No questions? You think it was tomorrow morning already? All right, yes.
Tell them a little bit about the driving school, Ron. Maybe some of them don't know about it.
That's what we're going to do next, yes. So I've got we've done this for the last couple of years where with your entry to the Corvette Corral, when you buy a ticket to be here in the Corral, you get a raffle ticket, and we're going to raffle off a performance driving school. And it just happens to have my name on it. And it's all Corvettes. We've been doing it since October of 2008, and our partners are Chevrolet and Michelin. So now we are the official performance driving school of Corvettes. So we have an exclusive deal. When you buy a new C7, you get a heavily subsidized 2-day school with me. And it's at a beautiful motorsports country club west of Las Vegas called Spring Mountain. So, and I have so if you've got your raffle tickets, we'll raffle off a 2-day school. And any questions about that? Yeah. Who's the fastest Corvette driver? I can tell you it's not me anymore. Who's gonna win the race? Fifth? Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good question. Who's gonna be in your car last? That usually comes down to who's on their game. As a driver, you want to be the guy that can make a difference and be the difference maker. And we've all had the opportunity when you're absolutely on top of your game and get the tap on the shoulder. Hey, just a few hours to go here. We need you, and you want to be that guy. So it comes down to who's having a great performance, and it'll be last 2-3 hours. That'll be likely who you see in the car is the decision. They just had an outstanding day. So and hopefully in the last couple hours, this time tomorrow, a couple of Corvettes will be in cruise mode with all the broken Porsches and the broken BMWs. And then a couple of broken Ferraris, yes. Anyway, all right, we'll do this, Julie. Yeah, I got in trouble doing this last time. Yeah. This is what year did I start racing? I'm not even sure you were born then. I actually got my racing license in 1977, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to qualify. When did you start racing, and then when did you start making money as a racing driver? Yeah.
Or competing.
Yeah. They got my racing license in '77, and I think I started making real money in like 1997. All right, Julie. Drum roll.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah, it starts with a handful of Ben Franklins, and we're good. This arm doesn't go quite long enough. Yeah. Okay, we have 6, 1, 1, 5, 4, 2. We have a win. On behalf of the entire Corvette Racing crew and our supporters, Mobile One, Michelin, thank you for coming. We really appreciate your passion and support. And trust me, it helps. So enjoy the rest of the day and tomorrow. Stick around.